If no one ever taught you how to feel confident, if you've spent most of your life minimizing your needs, quieting your voice, or second guessing your worth, you are not broken. You're not behind. You've just been conditioned. In fact, research shows that women often underestimate their abilities and worth, and it's a pattern deeply influenced by societal conditioning. However, this is the moment where we are going to start unlearning all of that. So let's talk about what it really takes to feel magnetic when the world has never handed you that map. Here's the truth. Confidence isn't something you fake, and it's not something you suddenly find at a retreat or on a vision board. It's something you build gradually and with intention. And if that voice inside you whispers that you've never really felt confident, even when you were younger, just know that you're not alone. In fact, you are exactly who this video was made for. In this video, we're going to unpack the deeper reasons why confidence has felt out of reach, especially for women over 50. And more importantly, how to begin reclaiming a sense of magnetic presence that's rooted in truth and not performance. By the end of this video, you'll understand why confidence advice often backfires for women like us, how the brain forms self-trust, the power of memory and micro moments in shaping self-perception, and small repeatable rituals to start feeling confident without pretending. So if you've ever wondered, will I ever feel confident? Stick with me to the end because we're about to open a door that was never meant to stay locked. So let's get something out of the way. If you've tried all the confidence hacks out there, power poses, positive affirmations, signing up for one class after another, but you still don't feel confident, it's not because something's wrong with you. It's because the advice you were given was never made for you. Most confidence strategies are built on the assumption that you once had confidence and you just need to get it back. What if you never felt confident to begin with? What if no one ever taught you how to speak up, self advocate, or believe in your worth? What if you spent years, if not decades, trying to be agreeable, to be likable, easygoing, fun, attractive, responsible, self sacrificing, and instead you wound up feeling silent, stymied, and shackled? If you've been living by those rules, then the just be confident advice feels like trying to leap across a canyon. You don't need hype. We don't need platitudes. We need permission from ourselves to unlearn. And know that unlearning these deeply ingrained beliefs takes time and self compassion. It is probably the number one thing that I explore with my coaching clients. And it just takes a long time to become self aware and to become vigilant about them. But it's also important to be gentle with yourself on this journey. And know that confidence isn't about becoming someone new, it's about gently dismantling the beliefs that say you're not enough. Beliefs like, I'm too old to change. If I speak up, I'll sound arrogant or bossy. No one cares what I have to say. I have to be perfect to be valuable. Or at this age, I'm unemployable. Or at this age, I'm undateable for those who are single. Every one of these thoughts isn't a personal failing, they're inherited programming. They are what we call limiting beliefs, and we are here to rewrite them. So, if confidence isn't about faking it, what is it really, especially for women like us in our 50s? Confidence at this stage isn't about youthful exuberance or external validation. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room or pretending to know everything. Instead, confidence in our 50s is a deep seated deep suited too, self-trust that comes from a lifetime of experiences, both triumphs and challenges. It's the quiet knowing that we possess inner strength, resilience, and wisdom that has been forged over decades. It's about honoring our authentic self. It's about embracing our journey, trusting our intuition, even in the middle of the physical and life changes that are more than likely occurring in our lives during this stage. So again, confidence in our 50s is about acknowledging and valuing our accumulated wisdom and expertise. It's about setting boundaries with clarity and self-respect. It's about embracing our body. I know we're going through these massive physical changes. And so we're embracing it. And we're also evolving our identity with self compassion. It's also about having the courage to express our needs and opinions authentically. It's about trusting our ability to navigate new situations. And then finally, it's feeling secure in our own skin and our intrinsic worth. Ultimately, confidence in our 50s is about coming home to ourselves, recognizing the incredible women that we have become, and moving forward with a quiet power and self assurance that radiates from the inside out. It's about owning our stories and stepping into our next chapters with a deep belief in our own capabilities and inherent self worth. Now that we have a clear understanding of what confidence truly means for us at this stage, let's quickly look at what science tells us about its foundation. Again, confidence isn't about certainty, it's about self trust, your ability to believe that you can handle whatever comes. And that belief it lives in our parasympathetic nervous system, the one that only turns on when we feel safe. So, two researchers, Dr. Kristen Neff, did some studies on self compassion, and Dr. Amy Cuddy did studies on body language. And their research shows that when we experience chronic stress, shame, or invalidation, our nervous system becomes dysregulated. This is when we live in fight or flight or freeze. And in that state, our brains can't access confidence. So the real work isn't acting confident, it's creating safety inside our bodies first. That's why in my coaching sessions, we often begin with gentle breath work or grounding exercises, which signal to our brains that we're not in danger. We also do a lot of work on limiting beliefs. We name them out loud so that way we can remove any shame fueled power they may have over us. And then we also focus on tiny, doable actions that show our brains that we can trust ourselves. Now, let's put into practice all of what we've talked about with one of the most powerful tools that we have, which is our pens. Journaling is probably the most common coaching exercise, and it's often overlooked for how powerful it is because it's so common. Journaling helps pull our subconscious beliefs into the light, and it gives our brains a new script to follow. So it's very powerful. So even if we've never felt confident before, it helps us know, it helps us unlock in our bodies that have stored moments of pride, clarity, or strength. So on your screen are 3 prompts that will help you find them. So prompt number 1 is to think of a moment, however small, when you felt quiet satisfaction, a small act of courage, time you felt confident, or even just a fleeting moment of peace. What were you doing? Who might have seen you and how did they react? It could be something simple like successfully navigating a challenging conversation or finishing a project that you were proud of, or even enjoying a quiet moment in nature. Because nature is powerful healer. What beliefs about you, this is prompt number 2, what beliefs about yourself have followed you for decades? This is really powerful. But which of these beliefs no longer feel true? Take a moment to examine those beliefs. Where did those beliefs come from? And is that your voice actually saying those beliefs, or is it somebody else? If it's somebody else, try to identify that voice. Again, this is a really powerful coaching technique that we explore very in depth in our coaching sessions to help identify the aspects of ourselves that are saying these things to us. It's very powerful, very deep work. Prompt number 3, if you fully trusted yourself today and you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do differently? What would you say differently? Would you dress or walk or ask for things differently? Now, the good thing is you don't need a therapist in the room to begin this kind of excavation. You just need honesty, space, and self-compassion. This is how you start rebuilding your identity from the inside without asking permission. Again, let's be clear. These questions are really designed to help identify limiting beliefs. It's important work, yet very hard. Limiting beliefs are undoubtedly one of the most powerful and insidious obstacles to our goals and dreams because they directly impact our motivation, our actions, our resilience, particularly in the face of adversity. And they can color our entire perception of what's possible. So again, confidence, we think of confidence as being cognitive, like in our brain, in our mind. But really, it's more than that. It's embodied. If your body has spent years making itself smaller, like our physical expressions mirror what we're feeling on the inside or thinking on the inside. Now, this is the time to expand. We're going to do this gently because obviously this is not a massive revolution. It is one step at a time. So here's a couple of things you can try. Posture reset. So each morning, if you don't exercise, take 90 seconds to stand tall. Really stretch. Place your feet on the floor and feel your feet on the floor. Push your shoulders back. Head level. Really allow yourself to step into your physical being. Not in a forced way, but in a way that says subtly, gently that you deserve to take up space. Next, voice activation. Read a short passage aloud from something that inspires you. Again, not to be loud, but to hear your voice again and allow those inspiring words to kind of ignite the fire within you. Next is ritual anchors. Choose one item that signals this is me showing up for myself today. It could be, wearing a certain shade of lipstick or a certain scarf or wearing certain perfume or maybe some accessories. Obviously, this doesn't mean you have to dress to the nines. It could mean that you choose to show up wearing something that makes you feel super comfortable, that makes you feel like you are you. Again, you're not doing this for others. You're training your nervous system to associate your own presence with strength and stability. And that's how confidence becomes second nature. So let's talk about another one of the hardest parts that we feel when we start to get older, and that's feeling invisible. And by invisible, I mean that society in general doesn't value you. Because even if we do the inner work, sometimes the outer world just doesn't respond. This feeling can be particularly amplified during significant life transformations like menopause, with the hormonal shifts that we're going through that impact our energy and our self-perception. Because as our body changes, our self-perception is changing. Maybe the compliments are starting to slow down. Maybe people stop asking for our opinions. Maybe we're noticing that the media isn't really representing people like us, women like us, like films and social media and things like that. And you begin to wonder, do I even matter anymore at this age? Let me be clear. Women at our age, we are not invisible because we've lost value. We're seemingly invisible because the world has been taught to stop seeing women like us. So, what are we to do? We learn to reflect our own value back to ourselves. And we're going to practice that every single day. So, here's a few tips. Create a brag file. Now, this is a private list of compliments, some whatever wins you've experienced, small or large, any kind of breakthroughs, any kind of kind words that you have to say about yourself or something that somebody may have said to you, anything that validates your impact. And make sure you bring this file out and you read it when you start to feel like you're forgetting your own value. Next, set visibility goals. Try to identify where you can intentionally show up as yourself. Is it online? Is it in a meeting? Is it with a friend? Is it in the Wise Women Wellbeing community? Next, connect with mirror mentors. That's what we call women who reflect who we want to become. This could mean seeking out inspiring women in your online communities, like the one that we're building through Wise Women Wellbeing, or intentionally following leaders or creators whose energy resonates with you, or even reconnecting with friends who embody the qualities you admire. Your goal, our goal, to surround ourselves with those mirrors. Again, this is not about needing the world's permission to shine. We just need to stop waiting for someone else to name our worth and start to practice naming it for ourselves. So if all of this is landing, if you're really feeling all of this, just take a breath. You've just peeled back layers of self-doubt that weren't yours to carry in the first place. And that flicker you're starting to feel, that's not ego, that's your essence. But maybe a new fear is starting to creep in. Is it too late for me to become that woman or a woman? That fear, our fears, our limiting beliefs can, again, be incredibly limiting. They can prevent us from stepping into our full power and stepping into our full joy, especially as we go into the next section of our lives, the next chapter. And this is the threshold that we're going to be crossing together. In our next video, which is called Why It's Too Late, is the biggest lie we tell ourselves. In that video, we're going to take everything that we uncovered here and we're going to light it on fire, which sounds like we're going to blow some things up. And maybe we will, just without actually blowing things up. We'll show you how to reframe age. We'll talk about reframing missed opportunities and how to reframe regret. And we're going to reframe all of that into power. So you don't want to miss that one. And before you go, if you haven't yet, there is an amazing practical guide called the No Regrets Checklist. It's 10 steps to start living fully after 50. It's not a fluffy list of feel-good quotes. It's real, it's practical, and it's going to help you identify what's been holding you back and how to move forward one step at a time. So here's what to do now. Like this video if it gave you something to think about. Subscribe so that way you don't miss the next session. We're calling these our spark sessions to reignite our spark. And then again, make sure you grab your no regrets checklist because your future is not behind you. This is our time. So let's reclaim it together.